Hello, my crafty friends. Thank you for joining me today. I'm going to show you how to make this quick and easy Christmas card. It's really, really beautiful, especially look at this paper, right? We're going to use the, what the heck's the name of them? It's the brushed gold cards and envelopes. So the envelopes come like this. Look at that, the front, and then the card base. And then we're going to add some texture to it, and I'm going to show you how I messed up on this one. Not yet, but I messed it up, and I will show you not only how I messed it up, but also how to fix it, because I'm sure I am not the only one that has messed up the cards before. So stick around till the end, and I'll show you the big fix, the big mess, and the big fix. This is a great card to make multiples of because it really goes pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and get started. My name is Linda Edwards. I am with Crafty Heron Designs. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and I live in the Greensboro, Georgia area in the US. And I host card making classes in my home, and this is one of the cards that we made in my November card class. So if you purchase the card kit for that class, this is the video for making that card. So this is what your card kit will look like. Well, actually, your kit will have all the die cuts done already for you. But we'll start out with one of the envelopes. These brushed gold cards and envelopes, they come with 20 cards in them. So they're really great. And you can see that you've got the brushed gold on both sides. So you'll fold and burnish it just as you would any other card. But the first thing you're going to do is you're going to use the textured textile embossing, the distressed textile, oh my goodness, I can't talk today, embossing folder to give it a lot of texture. It's pretty like this, but I'll tell you, that embossing really makes this gold. I mean, look at the difference there. Is that just amazing? And you know, the rest of it is very simple. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. We are using some dies from the Magical Meadow stamp die kit that goes along with the Magical Meadow stamp set. I didn't use the stamps, I just used the dies for the foliage. You can see the foliage there. And then this is die cut with the Nested Essentials dies. This is a great set of dies. It's got a lot of different shapes. And I just like the rounded corners on this one. There are 4 of these, 4 different sizes. The Merry Christmas is from the Brightest Glow stamp set. That was in last year's annual catalog, and it came back again this year. And then the inside, I'm using the Very Best Occasions, and I'll show you that shortly. So I'm gonna move all this out of the way so we can go ahead and get started. I'm gonna bring in the cut and emboss machine, and we will go ahead and get going on that. I for sure wanted to show you this out of the way, the embossing, because you know normally we just emboss an individual piece of paper, not necessarily a whole card base. So this works if you have a card base that's not necessarily that's not one direction. And I'm gonna bring in, let's see, if it's directional, it's a little trickier, but because this is multi-directional, it works fine. So it is a 3D file, a 3D embossing folder. So we start with the regular base plate, and then we use the number 4 embossing surface. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna line this up so that that crease here is along the end. I don't want it to go too far. I prefer it doesn't go to the back. So I'm just kind of lining it up like that. And then I'm gonna run it through. You can see how I kind of turned it so that I'm just doing one side of the card base, and then I put the cover on the top, and I go ahead and run it through all the way through. And then as I take that off, you'll see that It went over a little, but I don't think that's a problem. So this is going to be the front of our card. So you see the back of the card still has all that on it. So I'm going to set that aside and bring in the cutting plates, and we will do our die cutting. So with the die cutting, we need the base plate, we need the number 2 plate, and we need 2 of the clear cutting plates. These are the number 3 plates, and you can see there's the number 3 there. I like to rotate my plates so that they don't get too warped. Otherwise, you know, if you don't rotate them, they do get warped on you. So let me see, where's my stuff? Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do, this is the Distressed Gold paper. I'm going to run this through twice. Again, this is one of the dies from the Magical Meadow die set. There are quite a few different die sets in the Stampin' Up! Catalog that have kind of just foliage. So, you know, you may already have something. You may have that one. You may have something else that you can use. So it is a little, you only have to go through once because the paper is nice and thin. It is delicate, so as you're going to take it out, you do have to be careful. Kind of hold it all the way so that you don't tear it. And then I'm gonna put this one through again. And yeah, I probably should have done these ahead of time, but you can fast forward through this part. Or, you know, if you're following along and making this at the same time, then it's going to take you just as long as it is me, right? So that's okay too. All right, here we go. Again, look, see how I'm pulling it up very carefully. All right, and then I'm going to bring in white. I like to cut a little piece from the paper if you've got a card kit. We need to make sure we're going to fit 2 of these. This piece is 4.5 by 5, 4.5 by 5.5. So 1/4 sheet of paper. It's a little more than you'll need, but I want to make sure that I leave enough room so that when I stamp this, that I can get both of these pieces. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this in on a little bit of an angle so that I don't get, I don't like the long surfaces to be parallel to the blades, the rollers in the cut and emboss machine. It just goes through really nicely and smoothly if I do it that way. Most often I prefer to stamp the image first and then run it through the die cutting machine, but because I didn't stamp my image yet, we're gonna try it. It's a little risky to do it this way because of course if I mess up my image, then I have to stamp or cut it over again. But we'll see. We'll see how I do because I'm not having a good track record with this card. As I told you, I messed up already once, and I'll show you what I messed up and how to fix it. And then we're just gonna run a second one. So just 2 of each of those. This is just basic white and gold. I kept it really simple, except for that navy blue ribbon. And I'll tell you, it was the navy blue ribbon that I really wanted to use on this card. I just thought it was so beautiful with the gold. I just love navy and gold together, you know. It feels very festive to me, very elegant. Actually my sons and daughter-in-law, that was their wedding colors, navy and gold. It was just so beautiful. And I think it works well for Christmas or New Year's. You know, you could put Happy New Year, and this would be a beautiful New Year card as well. So, all right, so now I'm gonna bring in the Merry Christmas. I've already die cut this piece. This is a cling stamp, so I don't need to have a cushion underneath. And I'm just gonna go ahead, and I like the red rubber because you can really tell if you're getting a good image or not, if you're getting a good ink on your image. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna put it a little bit toward the top of the paper, Sorry, I can't think and work at the same time and talk at the same time. A little bit at the top because I'm going to put the bow underneath. So that is fine. Put that away. And then I'm also going to stamp the inside of this card before I assemble everything, because I am going to use the Stamparatus. I know, I'm sad the Stamparatus is not available any longer for sale, but you may very well have one, or you may have another positioning tool that you can use. Oh, and I already stamped that one. Huh. All right, sorry, I forgot that I stamped it already, but here, I'll show you. I just lined it up like this and inked it up and then folded it over. So got all of this out of the way and stamped it like that. So it's already stamped. May your days be happy, your heart be light, your Christmas merry, and your New Year bright. I just love that sentiment. And again, that one is from the Very Best Occasions stamp set. This is a really great one. It's got another Christmas, a little more sparkle and a little less stress. Let's make this Christmas the very best. But it also has, you know, birthday, grateful, thankful, a lot of sentiments that, you know, for a lot of different occasions, thinking of you. So this is a great one, especially if you're just kind of getting started. All right, so that's done. So let's bring in all of our little pieces. And again, I will show you what I messed up and how to correct it. So I'm going to use 2 this way and 2 this way. And my Merry Christmas, I'm going to put that up on dimensionals. So I'm going to do that first so that I can line it all up and see where I want my foliage to go. So I think that'll be good. I didn't take the backings off yet. I'm going to put that kind of right there. And then my foliage is going to go behind the tag. And realistically, I just am going to start with the gold. It's going to go on the bottom. And I'm really just kind of getting it in the corners. Okay. So I'm going to come in here and I'm really just kind of lining it up so that it's going to go in the corners. And I'm going to use a little bit of liquid glue. You could use tape runner. You could use a glue dot. And I'm actually, because I'm covering it up with this, I'm going to just go ahead and I just, as you saw, I just kind of I just put some glue under there. I wasn't really very careful about where it's going to go. Then this one is going to go on top of there, and I'm just kind of looking at it to kind of see. I want it to be a little bit above the gold, and I'm going to go ahead and put that one down. Make sure, I'm going to go ahead and just, I don't want to get my fingers all sticky. There's a little bit of glue there, so use my take your pick tool to do that. And then this one, same kind of thing. I just want it to be, I want to make sure I'm not outside the perimeter of the card, and that can go right there on that glop of glue. And then what's going to happen is this is going to go right on top of it. So it's going to be fine. It's going to cover it all up, and it'll actually, the dimensionals will hold it as well. I like the fact that it's only attached up at the top here, because this gives it a little bit of movement there, which I really like. The other thing is I'm going to let a little bit of this, I'm going to kind of take it up a little bit of that gold come through, although it's not really going to show that much once I put my ribbon on. But as you can see, this is actually holding down the dimensionals are holding down the pieces of the die cuts in the corner anyway. So, and then the last thing I'm going to do, oh my God, my fingers, I've got glue on my fingers. I don't know if I'm going to be able to tie this bow with all this sticky glue on my fingers. One of the things about the glue is you can rub it off. So let's see if I can get it off. And then I just basically I used the rabbit ears technique to make a bow. Now this ribbon makes a nice bow, but it is a little bit tricky because it's got all the, it's a little stiff, and because it's got all the gold glitter on it, it's a little bit tough, a little bit tricky to kind of bring it down. But this is working out better. I think last time I did it the other way instead of the rabbit ears, and I had a harder time, so that rabbit ears technique is better. And then I'm just kind of twist it a little bit so that they come down like that. And then I like a good size bow for this one. There we go. I'm very happy with that. It doesn't usually work out that that when you're tying a bow on camera, that it works, that it goes the first time. So I'm gonna put that on there, and then I'm gonna trim those a little bit shorter. And I'm gonna use a glue dot to attach that bow. If you need to, you can attach the glue dot a little low so that sometimes you have to use a glue dot. If your tails don't go down nicely, you can kind of attach another bit of glue dot down there. But these are doing well, so I don't have to do that. Well, maybe that one. I might attach another glue dot to that one. But in the meantime, let's do this, and let's do this. I want this to be this way. And, get out of there. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and attach another little glue dot so that this goes down, and then I'm gonna have to cut it a little bit smaller. Smash it down there and put this kind of down like that. So you can kind of play around with your bow to get it the way you want it. And nope, I went a little bit on an angle. There we go. Let's do this one a little bit shorter as well. There we go. Okay, so now I'll show you, and that's done. I mean, that was really fast, right? Very fast. You could easily make multiples of this, especially if you have the Stamparatus, and then you can do the inside. But, so what I did was, oh, wait, one more thing. Almost forgot my little bling. I love these stars. These are the Adhesive-Backed Star Trinkets. I just thought these were so pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and add one of these with my Take Your Pick tool. And I like to use the putty end because I can just push it off, and then I'm gonna just set it right there. There we go. Just a little something to add another layer to the card. Okay, so I'll bring in the original one that I did. Have you guessed what I messed up? The inside, look what I did. Instead of, I stamped it this way instead of this way. Have you ever done that? Leave me a comment, let me know I am not the only one to do goofy stuff like that. Oh my gosh, last time I did one, I cut it out backwards. Oh my gosh, so crazy. Anyway, so all I'm gonna do, this is really a pretty easy fix. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come in, and then the other thing I did, see I got ink on the back. So I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna just cut this in half, right at the 4 1/4 mark, right? 4 1/4. And then I'm gonna just, you probably figured this out, this is easy, right? I also cut myself a new card base. I just used the thick, basic white, 8 1/2 by 4 1/4. No, excuse me, 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. Fold it in half, and I will just attach this right to here. And I will do a new, correct way. I will use my Stamparatus. All right, make sure I'm doing it correctly this time. Oh my gosh, like that. I'll bring in my Night of Navy. I like to use the Stampin' Spot when I am using the Stamparatus, and I also like to put that underneath just so that I can have a nice firm surface to go ahead and ink here. If you don't have the Stampin' Spots, it's not a problem to go ahead and use your regular ink pad. But what happens is I tend to get ink all the way around here, and I'm always afraid that it's going to get on my card. And then of course the beauty of this is if I didn't have enough ink, I could do it again, but I think that looks good. I'm gonna leave that as it is. Close that up, move it out of the way, leave that out of the way. And then all I have to do is bring my liquid glue in here, add it to the back of this card, and no one will be the wiser that this card wasn't designed to be exactly the way they receive it. And actually, one of the bonuses of doing it this way is it's a little bit thicker because of the thick, it's got an extra layer of cardstock. But there you go. See? We'll never know. Nobody will miss the gold on the back. And I'll just use, I could use a regular envelope, or I can use the envelope that would have come with that. And had I not messed up the back of that card, what did I do with that? I could have used that, and I might be able to. I might be able to cover it up. See, this is the back. So it's possible that it'll be covered up, that you won't see it. I don't know. I'll play around with that. You know, it happens. Happens to all of us. So hopefully, if you've done that before, it gives you a nice, easy way to fix that kind of mistake. I mean, it's only paper. You certainly could just use another one, but this is such beautiful cardstock. I hate to do it that way. And I'll tell you one other thing I could have done, and I thought about this, is I could have simply cut another inside piece and put it on here. And that would have been fine as well, but I decided to go ahead and do it this way. So thanks for joining me today. Again, my name is Linda Edwards. I'm with Crafty Heron Designs. If you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator that you're currently working with and you'd like to purchase any of the items that you see in my video today, I'd love to help you do that. You can find me at craftyherondesigns.stampinup.net. And if you'd like to see more videos, I try to post a video at least once a week or a couple times a month on my YouTube channel, on my Facebook channel. And if you follow me, if you like my channel, if you subscribe, you will be notified when I post a new video. I hope you will join me again. And bye for now.